I'm Tania Gustafson, award-winning nutritionist, behavior specialist, and certified mental wellness coach on a mission to help midlife women move from barely surviving to thriving. You have been lied to. Weight gain, mood swings, hot flashes, brain fog, despite what the world and even your doctor may have told you, do not have to be your story. You are not broken. You've just never been shown how to fuel your body in a way that creates hormonal balance. Fit Woman Podcast is where we expose the lies and share all things to help women take back control of their health, hormones, weight, and mental wellness and thrive through midlife. I'm so glad you're here. Hello and welcome back to Fit Woman Podcast, where we explore all things to help women fuel their bodies, ignite their metabolism and their minds to thrive through midlife. I am Tania Gustafson, your host, and today I'm excited to have with me Dr. Pranav Vyas. He's a functional medicine physician, hormone specialist who focuses on the real world health challenges that women face after 35. So ladies, you definitely want to tune in. Dr. Vyas has more than 20 years of clinical experience and is known for identifying those overlooked hormonal and metabolic patterns that your lab test came back and told you were normal. They're not, right? So his work helps women better understand what's causing the symptoms, the fatigue, the weight gain, the brain fog. And today, Dr. Vyas is going to explain what is often missed in midlife women's health and what actually makes a difference in midlife care. So welcome, Dr. Vyas. Thank you for taking the time to be here today.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
I'm excited for this. So we connected on TikTok, something that if anyone's following me, TikTok is not my thing. I am not an expert there, but your content has just exploded. And we just talked about that offline here before we got on. But, and I think that's because women are really just looking for some truthful answers. They're finally being able to realize, oh my gosh, I've been sold a bill of goods. I'm not buying the lies. I don't have to live with this crap.
Very true. That's exactly it now, right? Because again, I'm just helping people connect the dots. They have all these symptoms. They're just struggling with them, but they've always been told what? Lab work is fine. You got to live with it, right? But that's not true.
No, and fine is never where we want to be.
Right.
Fine, no, not good. We want to be awesome.
Optimal, yes.
Optimal, yes, absolutely.
Right.
We want to optimize our health, age younger, all the things. So, okay, tell us your story, how you got here. How does a man get into doing women's hormonal work?
That's a big question. I know people always ask me that, like, what does he know about women's hormones, right? He doesn't go through all this. That's not the case, right? So I'm a chiropractor. I started off initially as a chiropractor. The whole thing with chiropractic was, what I loved about it was it's the body's ability to heal itself.
Yes.
That's the principle behind chiropractic. From there, I was always studying. Now, my whole story goes back to my mom. When I was in college, she ended up with, her doctor just said, oh, you know what, you're getting older, you don't need your uterus anymore, a full hysterectomy, right? So they did all that, put her on synthetic hormones at that time, right? They were like, oh yeah, you need some of this stuff, so we're gonna put you on hormones. I came out of college and I'm like, no, this is not what you need to be on. So we got her off of it, but unfortunately, she ended up with breast cancer from that. So this is where I was like, okay, hold on, there's gotta be a better answer for this thing. There's gotta be something else. So we kind of helped her through the whole thing, and she's a 15-year cancer survivor now.
Awesome.
So my thing was, okay, there has to be different answers. It's not just slap a hormone on a lady and tell her you're going to live with this for the rest of your life now, right? There's other things that are going on in the body, and you can heal. Yeah. So that's how I started. Now, I also do acupuncture. So, and growing up in an Indian household, we're more into the whole holistic, right? We treat things with herbs, spices, all that kind of fun stuff. My mom was always into that. You had a little cough, we would do the turmeric lattes, as they call them now. So it's the golden latte, right? We would drink that and man, you feel better.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, there's a thing to it. So why are we just throwing pills at people, managing symptoms? That's where I was like, you know what? Let's get some answers.
Absolutely. Okay, so tell us a little bit about the women you usually work with. What's your demographic and sort of the challenges that they're coming to you with?
The sweet spot, I would say, is like women 35 and older now.
Okay.
Right? The perimenopause, menopause phase.
Right.
If you think about it, it's kind of, that phase is the most misunderstood and underdiagnosed for women nowadays in conventional medicine, because they're being told what? Most doctors are not testing hormones.
Right.
They're telling a lady, okay, this is a phase of life. You got to go live with it. You're getting older. This is how it's going to be now. That's not right. So that's my thing, where I'm trying to help them connect the dots and tell them, hold on, it's not just in your head. You're not going crazy. There's things you can do to help correct this or balance all of this.
Absolutely. I mean, I look back on some things that my health journey sort of went exponential when I hit about that perimenopause age, like the 39, 40, 41. And I look back on a few things that had happened there. One of them stands out. I had injured my shoulder and I ended up with kind of a frozen shoulder thing. And my dog was sick and I had been, you have to hold the dog the same way to get her out the door every time. So it was like a repetitive strain kind of a thing,
Got it.
And, then of course my dog passed away. She was very old. And I thought, well, it's going to heal because now I'm no longer doing this, right?
Right.
And it didn't. It got stuck. And I didn't know until probably like 10 years later that, oh my gosh, that was a perimenopausal thing. Because when I went to the physio, the young physiotherapist there, he says, oh, that just happens to women around 40. And of course, I don't succumb to that anyway, regardless of what label you want to put on it. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, no, we're not doing this. I'm going to fix this. And I did. It took a long time, but I fixed it.
Wonderful.
Through a lot of things. But looking back later is when I realized, oh my gosh, that was a perimenopausal thing. Nobody, I never had hot flashes and things like that because I was already into balancing, right? But nobody ever thought, oh, that could be this or that could be, nobody was ever saying anything like that.
So from just understanding all this stuff, I've learned that there's over 130 symptoms for perimenopause and menopause. Wow. People always think the way you mentioned, hot flashes, night sweats, and mood swings, the common ones.
Yes.
But just the way you mentioned, frozen shoulder, right? That's one of them. They talk about those ringing in your ears, itchy ears. There's all these weird ones where women just brush it off thinking, yeah, whatever, it's just a little something. Those are all symptoms of perimenopause and menopause.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot that... And that's the other thing. I love to educate women on that. That's why I think the way you mentioned, I've gone a little viral on TikTok because there's things I talk about where women are like, oh my God, yeah, I know I have that. How come nobody's talking about it? So this is where I tell them, hold on. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. This is truly what's happening in your body that's creating the symptoms.
Wasn't that great? Okay, so before we get back into today's episode, I want to share something that I know will change your life for the better, like it did mine. If you're over 40, feeling like your body just does not respond the way it used to, your metabolism feels stuck and your energy is not what it once was, and the scale keeps creeping up no matter how good you try and eat, you need to hear this, okay? You are not broken, and this is not your fault. Your hormones, blood sugar, and yes, even inflammation are all playing a role in what's happening with your body right now. But there is a method that actually works with your midlife physiology instead of against it, okay? So I want to invite you to watch my free training video where I break down the FIT method, how to fuel your body, ignite your metabolism, and help you thrive through midlife without the dieting, without the deprivation, or the burnout. In this video, I'll walk you through why your metabolism feels like it's stuck in airplane mode, why cutting calories and doing that extra cardio is not the answer, and how to stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and support your hormones so that you can have real sustainable results that stick. No gimmicks, no quick fixes, and definitely no diets. And once you've watched, if it resonates with you and you're ready to say, I'm worth it, because you are, go ahead, complete that questionnaire and book your consult with me to talk through your plan and set a strategy for your body and your goals. What are you waiting for? Head on over to fuelignitethrive.com or click the link in the show notes, watch a free training, book your call, and together we can make midlife the best time of your life. It's time, and you are worth it.
You do some testing as well too. And so how is that different from like your standard of care? I mean, our doctors I'm in Canada, you're in the US,
Right.
and we're probably getting about the same sort of level of testing because it all comes back to, oh, you're normal. You're in the normal range. It's this, the whole range thing. I hate that word.
Right.
But it all comes back like that. So how are you doing something different? What is it that you're doing that's different?
So when we talk about testing hormones, if you go to your regular doctor here, especially in America also, the only hormone that most doctors are testing for is thyroid.
Okay.
Right? Nobody's looking at the estrogen, progesterone levels very rarely. I've had so many women that have gone to their gynecologist complaining that, hey, I'm having these issues. What's going on? Yeah. They don't. They're either given a birth control pill or an antidepressant now. You know that, right? That's the sad part.
That's what women are telling me when they come to me. Same thing. Yeah.
I'm sure, right? So it's pretty unfortunate. So my whole thing is, let's dig a little deeper. That's where that functional medicine, what I practice, comes into play, right? In functional medicine is like, we're giving you the tools, but I have the tools where I'm like, let's dig a little deeper. Let's understand what your body is saying and go from there. So I test hormones in a completely different way. It's not just blood work. I look at saliva hormones. So there's something called a cortisol rhythm I'll talk a little bit about that. I can talk about it all day.
Love
But
it. Okay.
cortisol, right? Cortisol is one of those hormones which, again, is very brushed off. The medical profession just says, "Oh, yeah, it's a stress hormone, sure, whatever." Cortisol influences so many different hormones in your body, and we're not even testing that. So I test what's called a cortisol rhythm. There's a rhythm to hormones too.
Yes.
We look at your estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, DHEA. There's so many different markers that you can test from saliva. That is very surprising because now a little information on that. Blood work, when you're testing your hormones in your blood, hormones are bound to certain carriers, certain proteins that are transporting them from one place to the other.
Okay.
That's why ranges are crazy wide, right? They always talk about the normal range. You fall anywhere in between, you're normal. That's not right.
Yeah.
In your saliva, your hormones are in what's called a bioactive state.
Okay.
The active state, the ones that are actually going to create something in your body. So this is where when you test that, you're getting a much better understanding of where your body is and what your body is using.
Okay.
So that's why I love doing that one.
Interesting. So, why? I'm just curious now. Why would they be using the blood test and not the saliva, or at least not together?
It's sad to say, but insurance. Right? You know how it is here in America, right? The insurance company pays for that. So that's all we test.
Yeah,
So-
that'd be the same here, unless you go to a private care.
That's
Yeah.
what it's become now, right? So if you
Yes.
really want to understand what's going on with your health, you got to go pay for it now. If you want just your doctor to order it, it's like insurance companies govern people's health in America. So it's sad to say, but they tell the doctor what they can and cannot do for a patient. So that's why it's pretty unfortunate, right? That's why they run the standard labs. Just a simple, every time you go, you're running the same piece of lab and they're like, look, everything's within range. Or here, something is high, we'll give you a medication to bring it down. Or something's low, we'll give you a medication to bring it up.
Yeah.
It's number fixing.
Exactly. Because I always tell people you don't have, fill in the blank, XYZ, because you're deficient in that medication.
Exactly.
Like you
That's
weren't
exactly
born with a medication deficiency.
That is so true.
Something happened to make it go that way. So what can we do to fix that?
That's the unfortunate part. And again, conventional medicine does not do that, right? They just have a pill for the ill, as it's called. Any kind of issue you have, there is a pill for nowadays. Any symptom you have. So they're quick to giving you that and then say, hey, come back in 3 months, we'll retest your whole levels and see where you are. Doesn't always work right.
Right. And so how far off, how much different are your test results in relation to like the regular normal labs?
So again, it's different ranges because we're testing different part of the hormones.
Okay, right. But I mean, if you
There's-
thought about like, an example of a patient who came in and brought you their thing and then they did another test with you, what would be the kind of difference that they would see?
It's pretty close because we're testing the same hormones.
Yeah.
But again, the way I said, we're testing different levels. There's nothing wrong with blood work. I'm not saying don't get blood work or
Right.
nothing like that, right? You're still getting an answer as to where your hormone levels are.
Yes.
What with the saliva, we're looking at bioactive. You're also getting a little more narrower ranges, right?
Okay.
So you're getting a bit more of an understanding of where your hormone levels truly are.
Right.
Blood work is fine. Nothing wrong with that. At least go get that if your doctor's ordering that. My whole mantra all the time is just like we get blood work done at least once a year, you've got to get your hormone levels tested at least once a year. Right?
Yeah.
They're not doing that. The way I said, apart from your thyroid, there's other hormones we need to get tested.
Right.
So it's just a matter of understanding that.
Yeah. And so what I'm sure women are a little bit shocked when they finally come and see like what results that you're showing them and what they need to do, right? So
So the levels might be the same or close to the same, right? But
Okay.
I'm going deeper. When you're
Right.
doing your standard lab work, of course, for women in perimenopause or menopause, there's the FSH, LH, maybe estrogen and progesterone. That's it. Testosterone is also very important for women,
yes.
right? It's not just a male hormone. It's
No.
supposed to help you with your bones, your muscles, your libido, your
Yep.
mental acuity, all that stuff. So we're testing all those guys at different levels too. DHEA, those are different markers. Again, as we age, some of these levels drop, but those influence how well your cortisol, your stress hormone, and the sex hormones are working. So I focus more on the stress and sex hormones. As cortisol is something, again, the way I said, I can talk for days about it, all right? Cortisol is the stress hormone, but again, it influences every other hormone in your body.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, think of it as the major hormone. When we are stressed, your body produces cortisol. When you're in stress mode, it's that fight or flight. Everybody's talking about fight or flight now, right? And most of us are stuck in fight or flight mode now. So when your body's in fight or flight, it's survival mode. Your brain says, hey man, I don't care about anything else right now. I need to survive. So what is it going to do? It's going to throw all its resources on cortisol. Your sex hormones start suffering. So then you end up with all these issues where women are like, oh my God. Now, younger women are ending up with perimenopause, if you've realized that now, right?
Yes, I have.
Right.
It's
And it's
disturbing.
not just right. It's cortisol. It's the stress part. When you're doing that, now cortisol also reduces your digestion because it says, I don't want to have to worry about digesting things. I need to survive. It triggers your insulin levels. So your people ending up with this type 2 diabetes or the pre-diabetes and all that stuff, high blood pressure, high heart rates. So it's influencing so many things. That's why I say I love looking at hormones in a completely different way. Where understanding or trying to tell you, listen, your body works as a whole. It's not just one guy saying, okay, here we go, we'll fix that and you should be feeling fine. It's understanding what your body's doing with the hormones.
Right. And where would you say the first place a woman should start? Let's say if she had to just pick like one thing about, which should I tackle?
At least your blood work first, right? Because if you're noticing changes, because again, when we talk about perimenopause, menopause, you're noticing that cholesterol levels start going up.
Right.
Right? As women age, they're wondering, they're like, I'm eating okay. Why my cholesterol? It could be a genetic factor. There's also things that influence your cholesterol levels,
Yes.
your blood sugar levels, that not just your fasting glucose,
Yeah.
A1C.
Yes, exactly. That's the premise of what we do over here is with your blood sugar stabilization, creates the hormonal balance, it helps bring down the inflammation, all the things. There's like a chain reaction. Like you said, there's never just one thing.
Right.
Start with one, but then it's gonna, the domino effect.
Exactly. And in blood sugar is exactly, I've heard also what you talk about. That's exactly very true. Your blood sugar balance actually also triggers cortisol.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're constantly spiking high all this time, insulin, blood sugar levels and all, your body goes under stress, causes inflammation, causes all these other things. So that's why I like to say, at least start with blood work, see if you're trending towards weird things going on. Cholesterol going up, your blood sugar levels are going up, you're noticing other changes in you. Liver enzymes. That's another big one, right? People don't talk about that. Liver is the second largest organ we have. Crazy important in also helping you make and break hormones.
Yeah.
Right? Same goes with your gut health. And I know we can talk about gut health forever, right? So gut is something that's so not, even talked about, or now people are learning about it now, right?
Finally,
Microbiome and all that.
Yeah.
Right? So get the blood work done first. If you're noticing trends in that stuff, I would definitely recommend at least speaking to like a functional medicine doctor.
Yes.
They'll go deeper. They might listen to your symptoms a little better and connect
Yeah.
some of these dots, right? The fatigue, the weight gain, the burnout feel, just the hair loss and all these things that I see so many women complaining about this all the time.
Yeah.
And they get dismissed, right? As I told you, that's one of the things. I've been in practice for 23 years. I've had so many women that come to me and just go, I kind of told my doctor that, but he said, I just have to live with it. Or everything is fine. So what do I do now?
Yeah.
That's where I say, okay, now let's dig a little deeper. Let's find out why your body's creating symptoms.
Yeah.
Symptoms are a way your body's just waving red flags, saying something's off.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like it's letting you know, hey, there's something going on. It's like the check engine light in your car.
Exactly.
If the check engine light comes on, unless you know that there's something wrong with the light in the dashboard,
Right.
for those odd times, you don't ignore it, right? Like you
Very
take it to
true.
the mechanic. You're like, okay, I'm not going to go on this long trip until I figure out what's going on with the red light on the dashboard.
That's exactly it. That's the whole thing. Symptoms are a way your body's saying something's off, just the way you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
So what we do nowadays is mask the symptoms. The pill for the ill, right? Every medication or stuff you see nowadays covers up a symptom. You're not fixing a problem. You're just putting a Band-Aid on it. So you don't see that symptom. So you think, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But things inside are still brewing.
Which is a really good point. So then, okay, so fast forward someone who doesn't know about, that they can go and get these things fixed. They are just trusting their doctor. They haven't gone back for any tests. They're just taking the medication, and keeping the numbers in line, so to speak, right? Fast forward 5-10 years with those things still brewing inside, like you were saying, what trajectory are they heading themselves onto?
So hormones, if you're not correcting any part of the hormone deal, the effects just compound. It's not suddenly going to change. You covered up a symptom, hormone imbalance is still going on. So think about like weight problems, right?
Yep.
Oh my God, if we can get into that whole rabbit hole of the GLP-1s now, but
Oh, yeah.
all that is doing is just fixing one part where, it's just correcting or you're not hungry, so you're not eating as much. But do you know that how many of the hormone imbalances cause weight gain?
Yeah.
All of them,
All of them.
right?
Yeah.
Estrogen, progesterone levels, if you're perimenopause, menopause, the levels drop, you gain weight. Cortisol, stress hormone, that belly pudge, the little midsection weight. Sugar imbalance, insulin, weight gain. So if you're not fixing that problem, you're just correcting a symptom, right? All you're doing is that. So what happens? Sure, while you're on the medication, your symptoms are gone. You'll feel, oh my God, I'm losing so much weight. Everything is fine. You get off the medication, whoop, your body wants to come back to that balance because the hormones are off and you get those symptoms again. So think about 5-10 years from now, you're still having those hormonal issues. Nobody corrected that, right? So your symptoms just keep compounding. The moods keep going crazier, right? The fatigue, you're not fixing any problem of that, right? You're just drinking energy drinks now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, people are drinking these things like water. It's so
They
sad.
are. It's terrible. Oh,
Right?
my
And everybody's exhausted now. Think about it. You wake up in the morning, I need my coffee. Don't talk to me until I have my 3 cups of coffee. If that's you, by the way, yeah, that's already your body saying something's off.
Exactly. You are triggering that cortisol disaster first thing in the morning. You are not doing yourself any favors.
Right. And then you keep needing 4 cups, 5 cups just to function. So that's the whole problem. So that's
Yep.
what happens, right? It's just if you're not addressing the root cause of the problem, it just keeps compounding. You can fix it or you can correct it by little band-aids here and there. So you might get symptom relief, but it's a matter of, that's why I say, let's go down, you
Yep.
correct the root cause, the symptoms will go away.
Yeah. And if we're not correcting any of those symptoms and it does go long term, then that they're putting themselves at risk for
That too.
diabetes,
Exactly.
heart disease, brain health, like all the things, like Alzheimer's has been called type 3 diabetes for over a decade.
Right.
And
Right.
so I tell people, if for no other reason, you need to like balance your blood sugar just for that.
Very
If
true.
it's not, if you don't care about anything else, you probably will care about that, And
And
so,
you notice, just talking about Alzheimer's, how many people are being diagnosed with that now recently? The numbers are growing like crazy.
it's
right?
really
It's pretty
disturbing.
sad.
It's pretty
And
sad.
Teens and preteens now in America, especially here, are also being diagnosed with pre-diabetes.
Yes. Well, kids are being diagnosed with prediabetes. Kids are also being diagnosed. 1 in 5 in North America
Right.
are being diagnosed with mental wellness disorders as well. And that's, again, it's all the gut health here. It's a lot to do with that. So that can come back to, I guess we could go down the whole food pyramid rabbit hole too.
Right?
There's so many rabbit holes.
Oh, man.
Goodness. But they all come back to like laying the groundwork for what women have been experiencing and just think, oh, this is just where it's going to be. This is where it's at
Right.
because I'm X age. My philosophy is it's not necessarily about your age. It's the length of time you've been doing something that doesn't serve your body.
Very true. That's
'Cause
exactly it, right?
It just kind of, morphs and grows exponentially. That's the word
Right.
I'm looking for. It's like compound interest, except not in a good way.
Right, exactly. And that's why I said the body's very dynamic, right? It changes all the time, right? There's so many factors that keep changing. So if you're not fixing certain things, it just keeps changing the wrong way, right? You just got
Yes.
to guide it the right way. That's all it is.
Exactly. So what changes have you noticed in how women are approaching their health now as they're coming to you?
It's a great question. I love it now, especially that's why I'm doing also the TikTok stuff because thanks to social media,
Yeah.
women I think are done being gaslit, right?
Thank
They're being done being told that, oh, yeah, you're normal, your results are normal, and they're still feeling like not fine,
Not fine.
right?
Yeah.
They're still noticing all the symptoms. They're like, my doctor said I'm normal, but I don't feel right. So now they're digging a little deeper. So thanks to social media, thanks to Dr. Google, right?
Yeah.
And all these things. But at least there's information out there, which is kind of educating women and telling them, hold on, something is off with you. It's not just in your head,
Yep.
right? It's not just, you're just going to have to live with it or nothing.
Yeah.
There's something. Go look it up.
Right.
So
So if your
this
doctor is not asking you or not listening to you, number one, not acknowledging what you're saying, number two, and just offering you a prescription and not asking you, what your eating habits are, how are you sleeping, what's your stress level, how about water are you drinking, or like, are you living on coffee? Like if they're not asking any of those questions, you don't have a doctor, you kind of have a drug dealer.
Very true, right? And again, that's why I love to say advocate for your own health.
Yes.
Be your own health advocate.
Be loud.
Find another doctor, right? If he's not listening to you, you're not stuck with him. Unless he's your uncle, you don't have to just go to one doctor,
No.
right? Find somebody who will listen. Find somebody who will test you a little better.
Exactly.
That's what I always say.
And if you have to pay for it at some point, it's going to be a lot better for you than not.
Very true.
Because things are going to, compound as you age. So if you don't take care of it now, you can pay now or you can really pay later.
Yes. It's an investment in your health right now.
It's
That's
an
all we say.
investment in your health, and you're going to get the best ROI. And sometimes, if you pay for it, even if you just pay for a test or something once,
Exactly.
just to kind of get an eye and go, oh, okay, there's a little something I didn't know. So now I can maybe even do my own research or talk to people or whatever, search up people like you and follow along and see what they can do. That's so much better than just kind of resigning to the fact that you got to live with it.
And I also tell women, I know I hear this all the time. Like, by the way, thyroid trouble. Oh my God, you've heard that, right? They say 1 in 8 women have thyroid challenges nowadays. There's a whole reason for that too, right? It's not your thyroid just stopping one day and saying, okay, we're not going to work anymore. But when they get tested for it, they've been told, oh yeah, your thyroid is off. Here's a medication. Now you're going to take this for the rest of your life. So I ask women, I'm like, so why are you taking this much and why are they adjusting? Well, my doctor told me I got to take it, so I'm taking it. And you've not done any research. You've not done to see what else is you can do for yourself. But that's what happens, unfortunately, right? Sometimes women just think, my doctor knows best. He's going to tell me what to do, and this is what I'm going to do now.
Right. So, I really think, and so maybe, I don't know if you do this as well, but I believe that every prescription should come, like sometimes people need a prescription if it's, life and death kind of thing or whatever.
Sure.
Okay, that can be like an emergent thing, but what can we do to roll that back so that you can get rid of that? So is that what you're doing with your patients as well too?
Exactly. So, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not against medication. Medication saves lives, right? There's some that are people need them and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
My other thing is, how else can we support you? How else can we help the body? As you mentioned earlier, it's not a deficiency of your medication that you have, right? It's just your body's not functioning the right way. Let's give it the right environment. The body has this ability to heal itself, right? We want to look for that homeostasis, that little balance. Your body wants to come to that balance.
Yes.
So it's a matter of giving it the right environment, giving it the right nutrients. Your body will say, "Ooh, okay, we know what to do now," and slowly come back to where it's supposed to be. Yeah. So even though you're on medication, doesn't mean that's it. And most of these medications, of course, they leach out minerals and they cause other weird side effects and all that. If you're doing something to help balance that, you might not experience as bad of those side effects.
That's true. That's true. And then possibly rolling back that medication.
And that too, exactly. You might need lower dosing of it versus the 100 milligrams of everything.
Exactly. No, I've had clients who absolutely have rolled back their blood pressure medication, their high cholesterol medication, their metformin, or gotten off of it, allergy medications, PCOS medications. Like it's incredible when you just educate on, okay, try doing these things so that you can balance, try and bring your body back into balance and see how good you feel.
Very true. That's exactly it, right?
Absolutely.
It's the balance part. That's the whole thing.
That's exactly right. So what's the hardest part for you about helping women?
There's still, again, the way I said, yes, they're getting knowledge, but again, there's too much information out there now, right? One person says this, one person says that, they're like, I don't know who to believe and all that. So my other thing is I just help kind of break it down for you. Okay. Everyone is individual. You've also seen all these people selling supplements going, oh my God, this worked for me. I lost 35 pounds and made me feel slim and whatever. Everyone tries that, right? Because they're like, oh my God, it's going to help me do that too. It doesn't. So then the women go, oh my God, everything is bad. Nothing's working for me. I'm just broken.
Right.
No, you're an individual. Your chemistry is different. Your biology is different. That's what I like to help them understand, right? It's not that just because it didn't work for you, you're done. So other part is, that's why I love the testing. So we know what your body is, then we know what to correct.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And supplements should be that supplemental to what you're already doing. I always tell people, if someone tells you it's a miracle cure, run, because you're never going to have one thing that's going to be, the be all end all for everybody, but the right products, the right supplements can come alongside what you're already doing to help support, to help support what you're doing and optimize that for you. Right. So there's that. I mean, if someone's telling you like, oh, this is a miracle thing, well, they might've got some good results for them, but and maybe that was exactly what they needed, but they didn't know,
Right. And I love also the way you say, right? There's no substitute for a good diet.
That's right. No.
Food is medicine. We got to get the right nutrients in our body. Right. Yeah. If you're not getting the right nutrients in your body just does not work the way it's supposed to. There's so many chemical reactions happening in the body that require vitamins and minerals and all that. When you're deficient, in America, especially here, they call it the SAD diet. You've heard of that, the standard American diet, right? Which is very high in calories, but very low in nutrition.
Yeah.
And that's why everybody's struggling. So I still love some supplements. I'm not saying no, I think here in America, we need some of that.
I think
'cause
we
body
do.
needs
I
those
don't think we
gaps.
can actually get as much as we need to every single day consistently 24/7, 365 because we're not perfect humans.
That's exactly
Like
it,
we're
right?
just not, you're just not going to eat all of those servings of fruits and vegetables every day because you're busy,
Very
so
true.
you need to put some sort of vitamins and stuff in there. But yeah, you definitely need to have food as your foundation first.
Very true. Right. So that's the other thing that I also love to educate, right? Nutrition is huge.
Yeah. So as we're on the topic of the standard American diet and all of those things, how how much of a disaster are processed foods for women in menopause and perimenopause?
Oh man. We can same thing. We can talk about this forever now, right?
Oh
So
boy.
processed food, the chemicals and all this well, luckily now for us, they're actually taking away some of these bad chemicals. So
Yes,
they're
I've been seeing
we are
that.
hoping they'll take them away.
I hope
We've been
so.
talking about this for decades right now, saying they've been taken away in all these other countries. Why are we still feeding ourselves this and our children?
Well,
Right?
just let me just pop in here with this because I watched something and they said, well, Canada doesn't have X, Y, and Z. No, Canada still has them because we're still getting some of the products from you guys.
Of course.
Interestingly enough, because some
Right.
of them don't have it in, but other ones do. So we're not totally banned either. We're kind of like, we're sort of wishy-washy on that. I don't want to be wishy-washy. I want them all gone. So anyway.
And then we can get into that. The whole processed refined foods and all these things are causing what? They're disrupting that whole microbiome.
Yes.
Right? The microbiome is now it's becoming one of the most studied things. And they're talking about how I was at a seminar just recently, a while back, about nothing but gut health. They're saying that every disease process now, they can kind of go back and say, starts in your gut.
Yep.
Mental health, gut health, right? All of these things. So that microbiome is crazy important. Now for women, there's also something called the estrobolome,
Yes.
right? It's the one that helps metabolize and get rid of excess estrogen from your body. People don't know this stuff. People just think, oh, microbiome, I'm going to take a probiotic. It's going to work for everything. Not always true, right?
No.
We've got to feed the gut the right things too. The fiber, right? The right kind of fiber.
Yes.
Most food here in America, same thing. If it's processed, there is no fiber in it. Added sugars and added flavors and added colors, but no fiber. So when you're lacking fiber, fiber is what your body needs to help wash things out. I know you're a big proponent of that too, right?
Absolutely. And those
Right.
Fiber One bars are not going to do it.
Nope.
I know a GI doctor years ago who was saying, well, he has his Fiber One bar as his snack for his fiber. And I'm like, hello?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I actually coached him, so he knows better now.
Nice.
But it's-
Right.
my goodness, it's like, if you're going through the traditional medical school, unless you have branched out on your own and
Right.
focused on the nutritional components, you're not actually getting any of that. I did see that that's changing in the US as well
Now,
too.
finally,
You
yes.
guys are going to be finally required, I think it's 40 hours of nutritional instruction.
In all those 4 years, 40 hours.
I know,
don't
so
think
they
they're going
get
to
1
remember half
week.
of that.
I've been told by doctors that they only ever receive between 1 and 4 hours. So I'm thinking, okay, 40 hours is at least a little bit of
Totally.
a something. It's better.
Totally better, right? But that's the whole thing,
so
right?
I'm
So-
encouraged. Let's start
Yeah.
there, and hopefully that will spread to Canada and other countries as requirement. I'm sure probably other countries have that as a requirement. I would imagine, like over in Europe and Asia, they probably do have something like that in some countries.
It is.
I haven't
Yes, you're
checked
right.
it, but how's
And-
India? Do they have?
India is huge for that, right? Exactly. So
Yeah.
nutrition has always been the basis of things. Again, in India, we talk about these herbs and spices and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
even though you don't study it in school, I'm sure you know it just from passed down heritage kind of feel.
Right.
Your family uses it, you know what's going on with it. And then it's same thing like the way they talk about in Asian countries. People will go to the acupuncturist first before they go to a conventional doctor.
Yes.
Same thing in India. You're having stomach pain, you're having something, they'll go to an herbalist or Ayurvedic medicine first before they truly have to go to a tech. So in different countries, it's different. For us here is alternative medicine is the last resort. Oh, I tried the pills, I tried the medication, nothing worked. Now I'm going to try and see what else can fix it.
Right. I know. And it's interesting how it's called alternative medicine when that was
Yeah.
actually, that's where all the stuff for the medications originally came from, is from plants and things, right? Like that's where it all
Very
came
true.
from. Yeah.
Right.
No, I go to my chiropractor first before I go to anybody else here. I've done the IMS, I've done the laser therapy, I've done all the
Nice.
things because I just know, like for example, I was in a car accident several years ago and I knew that if I just went to the regular doctor, he would probably hand me some ibuprofen or something and an ice pack and say, go home and wait it out.
muscle relaxants. Yeah,
Muscle
there you go.
relaxants. Yeah. So I'm like, no, I'm not even going there. I went to my chiropractor, had some treatments, had some laser
Nice.
therapy, and, back to normal. So, yeah, it's interesting that the allopathic medicine has such a hold. But I'm happy to see that there's more people out there like you that are gaining popularity and recognition for bringing quality conversations, especially for this area of women's health, which has
Right.
really not been well looked at for a long time, really.
Very true. And now, yes, you're noticing now there's a lot of research and a lot of things coming up with menopause,
Yes.
right? I just so there was a few documentaries that have been released also to talking about Oprah. Remember Oprah had this whole thing a while back where she talked
Yes.
about menopause and she had all the celebrities on and suddenly women are going, oh my God, they're talking about it.
Yeah.
Because before nobody was talking about all this. You're menopausal, oh, you got to live with it. That's it.
Nobody wanted to
That's
say that in polite company. It was
yeah,
like talking about going to the bathroom or something. Nobody wanted to talk about any of that. And now
right?
people are having poop conversations online and they're talking about menopause and menstrual cycles
Exactly.
and it's really just bodily functions that if we don't get them right, we don't feel good. We just can't function properly.
Very true. Right? It's a normal part of life. This is your body. We
It
gotta know
is.
what's going on with the body. And that's the whole thing. So that's one part I also love. That at least
Yeah.
where there's a lot of these conversations that are happening everywhere. People are writing books on menopause and doing all these things, talking about nutrition during menopause. Women just thought, I just gotta live with it. Again, the way I said, right? You're just gonna keep doing what you're doing. No, there's things you can do to start correcting things.
Yeah.
Right? You need to do training, like the way you said. You gotta keep your muscles a little stronger. You
Yes.
gotta eat the right nutrition. Is things that people are talking about which women didn't know about. They're like, oh,
No.
I'm just getting old, I'm fatigued, so I'm not gonna work out anymore.
Yeah. If you're slow down, that's why
Yeah.
you're tired. Don't do this.
Right.
Don't do no. No, that's probably why you're tired.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. You need to
Right.
kind of
So
it's sort of counterintuitive, but it works.
yes.
So your testing, people can get access to your testing online, correct? Through you?
Yes.
Okay. So where
Yes.
can they find you to get that testing if all these women are going, how do I get that test?
So it's just the first thing I always like to do is I'd love to have a conversation with you.
Okay.
Right. So I know what's the right testing for you. So it's just my website is just drvyashealth.com. So it's just that's also my handle all over social media.
Okay. So you guys
kinda
can find
went
him
with-
all over. Go to TikTok or Instagram. He's all over there, and we'll put it in the show notes. We'll put your website there too, so women can go and check that out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The one thing I've also created, I love this thing. I've done this for 23 years. The way I said, I've heard so many women complaining about so many weird symptoms that have been told is fine. So I created a hormone questionnaire.
Okay.
Simple little thing. Takes 3 minutes to complete. It's all about symptoms and how severe your symptoms are. Because sometimes, the way I said, people have fatigue and they're like, oh, okay, it's just a little bit here and there, whatever.
Right.
And then there's some that are like, oh my God, I wake up, I just cannot function. I'm
Yeah.
exhausted by night. I'm the tired but wired feel.
Yes, that's
You're
a lot.
exhausted at night. You cannot sleep because your brain's still running. So these are questions I ask. I actually give you a score, what I call my hormone code. So you get a little score at the end, which actually shows how balanced or imbalanced your hormone levels are.
Okay.
That's where I'd love to sit down and talk to you then. And we'll show you, okay, this is what's going on with your body. My whole thing is that I tell women I have a conversation with you, something that your doctor's not doing. The average doctor visit here in America, it's still 7 minutes.
Oh, I
Right?
think we beat you. I think we're 10.
Yep, there you go. So what are you understanding in 7 minutes about their health?
No. I
Right.
don't know.
While they're tapping away on the computer, they'll be like, oh yeah, okay, we're ordering some blood work. Here, yeah, come back in 3 months. We'll see how you feel.
Exactly.
That's not
It's
what
like
the
a
conversation should be.
conveyor
Revolving
belt,
door. Exactly.
trying to get people through.
So my whole thing is, yes, I love to sit down and talk to you, understand what's going on with you. It's just truly listen to your story. And that's what I've seen a lot of times. Women are like, oh my God, this is the first time I've actually told the doctor this, right? I'm experiencing all these things. My periods have been irregular. I'm having all these issues with, my partner just because my moods are all over the place, my kids. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's normal. There's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah.
right? But there's stuff we can do to correct that. That's where we know, okay, this is the testing that would be right for you. Then we can test you out, right? And by the way, I ship test kits directly to your home. It's a saliva test.
Perfect.
So you don't have to go get blood work, none of that stuff. You're actually collecting saliva at different times of the day because your body has a rhythm to it. And
Yes.
we're studying that rhythm.
Okay.
So that's how it works.
So there you go. And that can be in US and Canada, correct?
Yes. I ship internationally too. Yes.
Perfect. All right. So there you go, people. If ladies, if you want to get and find out exactly where your hormones are and some little tips there from Dr. Vyas, I highly recommend that you go get that testing done. So yeah, because you want to know where you're at, so you can
Definitely.
whatever practitioner you're working with, if you're here in Canada or working with your own or something, at least then you have something to show and say, look, this is what it's, this is what I got, and what can I do with this? How can you help me? And if they can't help you, well, one of us can help you.
There you go. Right. Get a baseline of your hormones.
Get
right?
a baseline. Absolutely.
You'd like to understand where you are.
Absolutely. Well, this has been fabulous. Thanks for coming on and taking the time. I know you're so busy with your clients and with all of your programs you got going on there. So I'm just honored that you took the time to be here today.
Thank you. Thank you. This was amazing, right? The way I said, I love your work that you do also. And that's why I said, I love the nutrition part of it. So I'm like, yes, we need to find people that are educating people on that.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Right.
Well, thank you so much. Oh, that means a lot coming from a doctor. I love it.
Hey.
And yeah, thanks for sharing. I love to partner with professionals who are bringing out truth and information that maybe the mainstream isn't really sharing loudly. And so we need to shout it. And so I'm glad we could shout it here today.
I love it. Thank you for having me.
So much. We'll have you on again. Okay.
All right. Definitely.
All right. Thanks for joining.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks again for tuning in to the Fit Woman podcast today. I hope you found some value here. Before you go, just a quick reminder, for any products, supplements, tools, or resources mentioned in today's episode, you can find everything over on my website. Just head on over to fuelignitethrive.com. That's fuelignitethrive.com and click on the shop favorites. I've linked the exact brands and products that I personally use and recommend to my clients. So it's super simple, no guesswork. The one exception is peptides. So for any questions on the peptides, please email me at Tania@fuelignitethrive.com. That's Tania, Tania at fuelignitethrive.com. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.